You're listening to Binjang 91.5 and it's time for Tech Talk with Mathew Dickerson. Good morning, Matthew.
Hey, good morning, Tony.
Well, the first topic today is Facebook and Google removed the UK Conservative Party election ads, but not because they weren't accurate.
Well, isn't that interesting? There's a lot of talk around social media companies at the moment about election advertising and whether there's truth in advertising or fake news, as the term likes to be thrown around. And so the UK Conservative Party ran some ads and they were a bit sneaky, and I was actually surprised that it was even generally accepted that this was okay. They actually took some newsreaders, some journalists, and actually took some snapshots of their words in such a way as though it looked like they were supporting the UK Conservative Party.
Yes.
And so very manipulative, very disingenuous in my opinion, but that wasn't the reason that they were told that they had to remove those ads from Facebook. They were actually put, or the BBC, who was the one who originally broadcast the newsreaders, the BBC actually put a copyright infringement notice onto Facebook. So it wasn't that you're manipulating the words of these journos, it wasn't that you're being disingenuous, it was that we own that footage and you didn't ask for copyright permission to actually use that footage in those ads. So they were told to take them down, and of course then Facebook had to take them down. So it gives you a bit of an inkling in terms of the truthfulness or otherwise of ads that we see. That doesn't seem to be part of the criteria for any of the judgment around these ads.
Most amusing.
Most amusing, that's right. Disappointing, I'd go as far as to say.
Yes, exactly. And getting on to our next topic, the iPhone 11 Pro models reportedly are sending location data to Apple.
So if you go into your iPhone, and this hasn't been a case with previous models, it seems to be something specific to the iPhone 11. If you go into your location data, you can turn off, there's various settings you can use, so you can turn off location settings so that your particular app won't send any location data about your location. You can also have it so that it will send location data while you're in the app, and then you can have it so that it sends no location data no matter what. And obviously some people are happy for that because it makes sense. If you want to track where you're going, let's say you're using a logbook app for your business, you want to track where you're going from one trip to the next trip, you can track your location. So that makes sense, that's great.
Yep.
But you might not want it tracking your location when you're not in that app or you're not using that app, for example. So turning that off makes sense. But if you actually go into the settings on an iPhone 11 and look at the various locations, you'll see the little almost modified triangle that indicates that that's sending location data. So if you go and turn your location settings off, you'll still see that setting there. Now if you go back to an older iPhone, an iPhone XS or an iPhone 8 for example, if you turn those off you won't see that little arrow there, that little triangle there. So there's something specific to the iPhone 11, whether it's deliberate by Apple or whether it's just some flaw in their programming. But at the moment, you try and turn off your location setting and you'll still be sending, so some programs still be sending where you are.
Well, I would imagine that could be dangerous for Apple because of the laws surrounding privacy and also fair trading laws in relation to selling a product that does things different to what you've claimed.
And you're spot on there, Tony, because it actually goes against their privacy settings. If you go and read the privacy rulings for an iPhone 11 and for the software on there, it actually goes into detail about that, and you think that by turning it off, you won't actually have your location settings sent. So it's something that I think we'll see a little bit more of over the next week or two, and maybe that will be addressed in a subsequent update from Apple.
You would hope so, otherwise they appear to be very tricky.
Indeed, yes.
Now that Escobar name is very famous, and Roberto, who was the accountant in the of the and co-founder of the how do they spell that? I'll pronounce it, Medellin drug cartel, and he's now launched a foldable phone. So isn't it amazing how the wheel turns?
So most people would know the Escobar name from Pablo, of course.
Yes.
I think they talked about at one stage Pablo was responsible for 80% of the cocaine that came into the US of A.
Yeah.
So a very large drug dealer in no uncertain terms. But his brother has decided to go down an honest path, supposedly. I assume the only way he's been able to set up this company and do all the R&D for this company is through a little bit of drug money that he might have collected somewhere along the way while being the accountant for a drug cartel.
I was going to say capital wouldn't be a problem, would it?
No, I don't think so, which is again a bit disappointing that we've got someone who's profited very well out of his drug activities and now he's launching supposedly a legitimate company. Now it's interesting, the advertisements that you see for this particular phone, they have a lot of females with not many clothes on, but no actual shots of the phone. So I haven't seen the phone yet. I've seen ads that show lots of people that are having lots of fun and look like they're very happy and they're very skinny and fit looking, but I don't see any actual phone yet. But they're saying it's a foldable phone because Apple has no foldable phone at this stage. Roberto's saying, I'm going to beat Apple, which is, you know, not a small claim to make. And companies like Samsung, who are fairly large, have tried to do the same thing with Apple, but he said he's going to beat Apple by having a foldable phone and obviously lots of scantily clad women in advertising. That's his marketing program at the moment.
Yes, well, his priorities are very amusing, aren't they?
They are, that's right. So I don't think I would advise your listeners to rush out and buy one of these phones. Who knows, it might come with a gram of cocaine as a bonus offer, as an introductory offer, I don't know, but I'm not sure that I'd be putting a lot of faith in Roberto Escobar at this stage.
No. Now, this is an interesting topic we've got here. It's to do with Pillsy. It's a smart pill cap, and we all know, well, some of us know as you get older, or even if you get inundated with more health problems, it becomes hard to manage those pills, doesn't it? So,
well, I put this one in specifically for you, Tony. I just thought you
exactly.
might be at the age where you're starting to take a few pills as you might get a bit older. And this is, I actually think this is a great present for someone's grandparents, for example, if someone's looking for a present. And so what it does, it's got a cap on a pill bottle, and that cap links to your phone, to your smartphone. So we're assuming your grandparents, you have a smartphone as well. So that links to that. Now what it does is a couple of things. First of all, it reminds you that you've got to take some pills. So that's fine. You go over there and that reminder comes up. You go and find your pill bottle, you unscrew the pill bottle, and you actually know the doses that you're meant to take. And that's important as well so that you don't overdose on the pills that you're meant to take to help with your health. But also sometimes part of the research showed that some people, when they're actually doing it, they take a pill and then half an hour later they think, did I take my pills?
Didn't I?
Yeah,
Yes.
didn't I take my pill? Oh, I better take them just to be sure. And of course they go and do that and then they can potentially get sicker by having too many of those pills. I spoke to someone else about this particular issue and I thought this is a great thing for people to use. And someone then said to me, well, the biggest problem they had was actually finding where they've left the pills from the day before. So there are devices that are tracker devices. Tile's one of them that I use in particular, but there are tracking devices. So I thought a great Christmas present for someone might be a combination Pillsy pill box with a tile, so you can find your pill box and then you know how many you've taken and you know everything's okay. So yeah, a good combination for some people who are in that stage of their life where they need to take a number of pills.
Life's getting simpler, isn't it?
As it gets more complicated, hopefully it gets simpler.
And you've been listening to the morning session on Binjang 91.5 with Tech Talk and Mathew Dickerson. Thanks, Mathew.
Thanks, Tony.